It's been a very long weekend for all of us, and I hope you're beginning your week on a refreshing note. I'm very excited to be here with you on Join is Interactive. My name is Miss G, the Entertainment General, ready to hear your opinion on trending issues in Ghana and beyond. You're live on the Joy News channel, the Multi TV, the STV channel 421, Go TV channel 144. It's the first working day in July, and I wish you a very great month. So we're starting by sharing with you some late Tuesday inspiration. You know, like it's supposed to be Monday inspiration, but we're calling it Tuesday inspiration. Life only comes around once. So do whatever makes you happy and be whoever makes you smile. So be with whoever makes you smile. Do whatever makes you happy is what we're saying to you on this Tuesday as you begin your week. So after the inspiration, let's talk some Galamsey and its devastating effects. On Sunday, we're hit with some disturbing news. Now, it's of the collapse of an illegal mining pit in Prisia and Nsuta. 2 days on, about 14 of the trapped miners are yet to be rescued from the pit, which is over 80 feet deep. This is the latest in the many mining disasters that have been recorded in this country. We are all aware of the ongoing national campaign against illegal mining due to its effects on humans and the environment. My question for you this morning is, why do people decide to risk their lives to engage in a dangerous mining activity despite the possible threats it has on their lives? And we'll be reading your messages on Facebook shortly. You can join the conversation. It's Joy News on TV, and that's where we get to read all your messages live on Join is Interactive. So let's quickly check out what you've been saying on our Facebook. And Esibe Ampon says, all these people have engaged in the practice for a long time and still they're poor. And there should be proper and constant education on the menace in the country, and the radio, the media, so radio, TV, social media, and the community gathering should be used as the platform. Sometimes I lose hope that it shall be well. The country will be better because most of the minds in the country are spoilt in a way or the other. You're saying, Kojo Bennett says, results of being stubborn. I swear I don't feel bad at all. We are all tired of people not being creative for development, but destroying our water bodies and lands. That's clearly careless of them. Hunger and poverty are more threatening and deadly than death itself. What do you expect Ghanaians to do? Everywhere is hard except the few that find themselves in political arena. What a pitiful nation, I guess is what you want to say. Kula Wasi says, if the question is rhetorical, fine, but if you want an answer, then you already know the answer. That's what you're saying. These Galamseyers are very stubborn. They said no Galamsey, yet they do it. That's their payment. And Migolito says, in fact, I'm not a bit sad. Cry. I hope all Galamsey operators will get to learn something from this. And upon all the warnings be announced, Ghana for Mudiabo. That's what again Migolito says. Due to the high rate of unemployment, many people are compelled to engage in this dangerous act to earn a living. It's a pity Kamal is saying. One heart says, are they still doing Galamsey? Only in Ghana. And Anafo says, this is really good, though sad. That's what you were saying. So comments from you concerning those we lost in Galamsey operation in Prisia in Nsuta. Now, away from Galamsey, let's talk about security. The police in Abuaba, Akurem in Kumasi killed a suspected armed robber gang member in a shootout on Monday. Now, the suspect who was killed following a tip-off has been on the police wanted list and is reported to be behind a number of robberies in the area. Now, a police officer sustained gunshot wounds during the operation and is currently recovering from his injuries. But speaking of tip-offs, are we being encouraged to report suspects to the police? You know, people who suspect to have committed crimes, are we encouraged to report them to police? Do you report suspected criminals in your community to the police is what we are asking you. Let's get your reactions. These days, when you do this, you do it as your own risk because the police will not protect your identity. So I asked that, what's the essence of reporting them after all? So annoyed, you were saying, and Chia, I will never do that because I reported a case to the police. To my surprise, I was told by the police to pay 100 cedis before the suspect is being arrested. And Finn says, yes, I tried and the police exposed me, so there is no need. That's what Finn is saying. Abubakar says, I have never done that and I don't think I'll ever do it, because when you report a criminal to the police, you end up spending your own money. And Kweku says, this country or which, you're asking, and Chia Aputo, this Ghana police, and Ka me a fish. And who is a criminal, you're asking? And now we go stone the criminal to death. Well, if you're caught, you would be arrested and be made to face the law. I think the case of the late Major Mahama should serve as a deterrent to all those who engage in mob injustice. Now, this issue has been hot in the media all morning, and I want you to have your take on it, so we posted it. Have you heard that the price of some goods and services manufactured locally and even those imported have increased from July 1? If you didn't know, then you know now. The increment follows the introduction of a 3% VAT flat rate scheme. However, some manufacturers and importers have argued that the tax would result in them paying 3% more in every stage of value addition in production. Interesting. Very. So we shared this with you on Facebook, and let's get your reaction. And Abubakar Iman says, these people promise us that when they are given the mandates, they will make the economy stable because our economy was in crisis. But look at what you're doing to us. Now we only have to depend on God for survival. May the good Lord help us to overcome this situation. And Oakley says the finance minister should team up with the presidency to do something about it, gradually losing confidence. You're saying. And Teta says, whether tax or no tax, the economy is always draining us. I hope the increase is not going to cause any more problem, but help in fixing this economy. James Teta says, God, come and take the driving seat. I'm sure that he's talking about Kofi Kinata's song, because the old man is drunk and sleeping. I don't know which old man you're referring to in this case, though. Grace says, even whilst they have not introduced VAT cry, every week price of goods increases. And Al Hassan says, I thought they were coming to do better, not knowing that they were lying to us. And direction, okay. Robin Peter to pay Paul, you're saying very incompetent, clueless government are poor, and that's Nana for you. We do need big talk at all. I think you want to say we don't need big talk at all. And that is going on, you're asking, and you're saying that's the MPP for you. That's from Fatima too, who is reacting to the 3% increase in VAT scheme that has been introduced from the 1st of July. We'll take a break. We're back with more Joy News Interactive. Please stay. Welcome back from the break. You're still live here on Joy News Interactive on the Joy News channel on Multi TV. Now, who doesn't love to read about President Robert Mugabe in the news? Well, a lot of people do. So here's a new one. Zimbabwe has auctioned a head of cattle worth $1 million to raise money for the African Union Foundation. This has gotten me thinking about the beauty in making use of our possessions for a worthy cause. Now, the long-serving Zimbabwean leader says the donation is to help end what he calls the donor dependency syndrome. Mugabe donated 300 cattle from his herd, and with other Zimbabweans doubling the number in a bid to contribute towards a noble cause, in quotes. What do you think about this innovative way to raise and donate money to the African Union? I'm sure some of you have interesting opinions about this already, so I am going to read them. I'm really itching to read them. So let's see what you've been saying concerning that. That's the shots of President Mugabe as donation to the African Union as he auctioned them for $1 million. That's 77 million euros. So Samed Bambakia says, how many African leaders ever think about the independence of Africa? The only living one I know is Mugabe. The rest of the African leaders today are hypocrites, selfish, and cowards. May Almighty Allah receive the souls of heroes like Nkrumah, Thomas Sankara, Mohammed Gaddafi, and the Western is still ruling Africa mentally through our weak and selfish leaders. When courageous leaders like Mugabe talk, the hypocrites become silent and pretend as if the old man is insane. Papa Mugabe, save the money for your country. Save your money for your countrymen, lest you waste it on hypocrites who will never support your cause. More grace to your elbow, Papa Mugabe. And Africa, Pa, God must come to our rescue. Is it the cattle or... Okay, so Mr. Robert has tried. For me, I see all these actions to be one comedy reform. African leaders better start thinking outside the small box they're in. People are piercing recession with technology, and we are auctioning cattle. Apu, that's what you're saying. And Miller says, Mugabe is indeed a patriotic president of Africa. African presidents should learn his way. And African Union is a toothless dog. Mugabe should have used that money to solve the numerous problems facing his people. And ex-president Gaddafi funded almost 80% of the AU's expenditure. But what did Africans do when the West wanted to crucify him? President Mugabe should save his money, but I guess the old man cannot watch whilst Africa goes astray. And it's a great move. It means Africans can do whatever we set our minds to do. Great initiative from the great leader, Robert Mugabe. Mugabe, oh Mugabe, he's got brains, not bad, from Fusu. And Mugilito says, this one, dear, Mugabe, yeah, dear. And Abba, Mugabe, why? Oh, it's not a good actor. That's from Sarah Baidu. And Smart says Redu, and Braco says, it's perfect signs of rationality. Isaac says, this man, dear. And Boris says, it's a good policy. So reactions from you concerning Robert Mugabe selling cattle to fund the AU. Monday was Republic holiday. Yes, it marked our Republic Day. It fell on Saturday, July 1. And yes, some people have raised concerns about the number of holidays that we have in this country. Of course, last Monday was a public holiday. That's the Monday before this Monday. It was to mark Eid al-Fitr. And this Monday also, we had the Republic Day. So some Ghanaians believe that this could affect productivity. Well, since we are all Ghanaians, let's all share in this. What do you think of the numerous holidays we get to celebrate in this country? And Adai Rila says, it is ridiculous, absurd, and lazy, and a lazy man's approach to development that we keep shifting public holidays to the following working day when it falls on weekend. It is laziness, but when I'm sworn into office as the president, all these laziness will stop. Thank you. And Opoku says, if you desire to work on a holiday, that's fine by me. But taking away our holidays, workers in some institutions see no sun unless Sunday. I like the rhyming. Please, let's keep to what we have. And Tavia says, yes, I agree. One thing leads to another. We are just trying to be lazy. 1st July was on Saturday. Why can't we observe it on that day? LSL Apia says, I agree perfectly, and I wish more and more holidays be added, because I see nothing fruitful in the very people who go to work at the government sector. They seem to be working but doing nothing at all, like the country wouldn't be marking time after independence. Shame on Ghanaians. Ghana is, okay, you are saying God is regretting creating us. You're not God. So how do you know that? Issa says, if it falls on a weekend, it should be observed on the weekend, but postponing it to the next working day is bad. Let's remove some, especially the Founders Day and the Republic Day. And I think holidays should not be pushed to a weekday when it falls on a weekend. that's what is happening in developed countries like Germany. And Romeo J says, anyway, I love holidays. No, I have no qualms over that. My point is, if it falls on the midweeks, it should be pushed to either a Monday on Friday, so it wouldn't destabilize work like the UK does. And Brian Tam says, I think when it falls on weekdays, let's observe them, and weekends as well, because some companies do work on weekends too, but not to the extent that to a weekday because it fell on a weekend. All holidays should be observed, but when a holiday falls on weekend, it should not be postponed to the preceding weekday as the norm has been. And Kobneje says, no, I do agree with them. Whether you work every day for a whole year with 0 holidays, the same pay. Me, please, let it be. Okay. You say you want it to be same. And Stephen Mensah says, raising or reducing public holidays won't change a thing. The reduction must come from how public servants waste working hours and how public officials embezzle funds. And Abubakar says, yes, because as a developing country, we need to spend most of our time working rather than enjoying the superfluous holidays. And those are reactions from you. So a lot of people are not happy that we get to postpone our holidays to a weekday or a working day when it falls on a weekend. Years ago, you had no choice than to be decent here in Africa. But hey, things seem to have turned around. So the Ugandan government has made a move. This might be unusual, but the country's Minister for Public Affairs has warned public servants to dress decently. It has warned women to make sure their clothes are covering their cleavages. Women will not be allowed to wear dresses or skirts that are below or above their knees. They won't be allowed to wear sleeveless blouses and bright colors, among others. When it comes to the men, they are required to wear neat, long-sleeved shirts, jackets, and ties, and a lot more. So this sounds progressive to a lot of you. And could you also sound that, you know, they are depending on your value is not one that you want to agree with? Would you support a similar directive in Ghana? Are you asking that the Ghanaian should also be told what to wear if they work in the public sector? Let's see what you're saying. And Jacob says, nice idea. If Ghana will hear all sorts of... Okay, I think it's a very good initiative. It will fight the indecency in Ghana. Is a very good policy, and I support it 100% because of our ladies, because our ladies intentionally dress naked to attract men. We need to do something to that. And Ghana Civil Service Code of Conduct Part X miscellaneous and 45, you're quoting, says a civil servant shall dress appropriately at all times in conformity with culturally and internationally accepted standards and norms of dressing. An attire must not appear too gaudy or shabby so as to draw unfavorable comments from colleagues or the public. And so you have quoted, but the Ugandans have gone further to state exactly what their folks who work for the public sector should look like. Yanka says, would it be the best initiative to ever have this in the country? Hashtag rich culture. And some aggrieved people will turn to the Supreme Court for interpretation. Public servants are found at every facet of the society and must be seen leading the way, dressing decently, you are saying. And Goodness says, I am for it 100%. Mohammed is asking, why not? So David says, dressing has got nothing to do with work. You sure? And good idea would help climb. Okay. I'm sure you want to say clamp down prostitution. And Prosper says yes. Razak says nice idea. Lucky B says yes, especially for the young ladies at workplace. And a big yes. Miguelito says that would be great. One Hat says good move. And Yao Mateo says it would be nice if such rules are made. And brilliant idea. Jaintu says, yes, I support. Mr. says, good. Yes, I endorse such move of dressing. What a fantastic idea, Iman Abubakar is saying. So a lot of you are happy that will be happy if we get our ministers or we get a directive as to how exactly we're supposed to appear at work. Now, finally, before I go, let's see what picture we have for you. So makeup seems to have come to stay. It does not only enhance your beauty, but goes the extra step to boost your confidence. I love makeup. Yes, I'm wearing makeup. Maybe you do too, but hey, make sure you don't overdo it. On this note, let's see the picture of the day. This is the makeup, beautiful makeup done by this woman. I'm sure you're excited seeing her on your television sets. She looks beautiful, doesn't she? But you don't want to look like that. I'm sure you definitely do not want to look like that. On that beautiful makeup note, I'd like to say bye to you. Have a great morning, and we're back again tomorrow with more here on Joy News Interactive. But later in the evening, I'll be with you on the entertainment segment on Joy News Prime. Take care.